Welcome to Preserving Our Oral History. Today we're featuring former Toshao Clifford Shuman.
My name is Clifford Shuman. I am an indigenous person from the Arawak tribe. I was born right here in Pakuri, attended St. Cuthbert's Primary School until the age of 16. I do not know my grandparents, maybe because they died when I was a baby. My mom gave birth to five of us, four boys, one girl, out of which two of my eldest brothers died, leaving three of us. I started to work with lands and surveys at the age of 16. Got married at the age of 18. I joined the Ghana Defense Force in 1967, served most of the time at border locations. Still having interest in my community, I was elected Toshao in 1974. It was a hard task to decide to accept two responsibilities. However, I accepted it. I was seconded from the army and appointed military training instructor in my village. Now I had two responsibilities. As a training instructor, one, and two, as a Toshao of the village. I resigned in 1985 both from the GDF and as Toshao. Achievement during my time. I recruited about 30 reservists into the Guyana People's Militia. As Toshao, during my time in office, I was successful in having the health station built and two, the windmill to supply water to the villagers. I left for Suriname to work in 85. Worked for 6 months. Things weren't good as expected. So I came back home. I then went to work with hydropower surveys for almost 3 years before getting a permanent job at Omai Gold Mines. I worked at Omai Gold Mines for another 3 years before migrating to Canada. I lived in Canada for over 23 years. Now I am back to my beautiful country, Guyana. Back to school, I couldn't go further than the primary level because we didn't have a secondary school as one. And at that time, when you reach the age of 16 or you attain the age of 16, that they used to call it school leaving age. From age of 16, you're being kicked out of the school, you know. And growing up, the village wasn't all of that this large, you know. It was just a few houses. It was bushy all around. People used to come all around here to hunt. I can remember that killing deer just around here. They have a lot of wildlife. And what more can I remember? Oh, fetching water. Fetching water, we should make two wheels, put on a stick, and go down by the landing and bring up one or two buckets. So you keep fetching water from the river. You didn't have the facility of having, a well. So that's how things were, as I can remember. It served a good purpose, but then, the windmill to me was even better than what we're getting here because as the windmill spins the water, the pumps and goes up very fast. But then we didn't have the extension all over the place, right? So I guess because of that, people are getting water right now. So we used to go to the well and dip buckets of water rather than getting water from the pipe. Evil spirit? No. During my small days, my parents, they used to tell me here, You know, these three whistles, Kanaima whistle. Then they had a kind of long whistle. They call it Virishikiri in Arawak. I don't know what it means, right? So that was the name of it. And you can hear it coming like from the lorry park going back. We used to live till where my sister is living now. I used to hear it, and my father used to tell me, son, don't ever make mistake and imitate those spirits because they come right into your house. So I was scared every time every time I heard it coming closer. I just cover up in the blanket. I don't want to hear or see nothing. So that's all. But I've never seen a kanaima in my born life yet. Well, I'm not. I don't think I could ever say spirit because those are invisible. My parents and both of them are dead speaker of Arawak. So because they conversate. All our conversation is in Arawak. But now I tend to forget a lot of words in it because the Arawak dialect is dying away. And I try to remember. Like, for example, I have a friend in Canada. He also is an Arawak, and he asks me sometimes, what do you call bucket? What do you call this? What do you call that? What we can remember, we just, take note of it. And I've noticed Father Bennett, or some Reverend Bennett, made a book of the Arawak language. But when you compare his book to our way of talking Arawak, some of the words are what we speak. But most of the words that they put in that Arawak book, doesn't correspond to the Arawak we speak here. Yeah.
So around what age did you stop speaking Arawak?
At what age? Oh, when my parents died. Yeah, my parents died in, let me see, way back in early in 70s. Because like most people weren't speaking Arawak anymore. I tend to speak in this, I call it taki English. So, like, nobody was talking Arawak then to you. Only the real elders, right? You know, the oldest people, and all almost died away. Coming back to the Arawak language, and I think the only place you can get people to teach Arawak here, even those who said they know Arawak, they know yes, but they don't know everything. You have to bring somebody from like Suriname. Suriname have Arawak communities where these people talk fluent Arawak, right? And you can bring one of those here and bring back Arawak into play, and they can teach Arawak. Yeah.
How did the council function in your time as Toshao?
Anyway, all I could tell you is that I didn't have that cooperation, right? Up to now, that is what is killing this community. Cooperation. You always find councils, going off. They no longer council. But when like something beneficial come around, they come back just for part time and they're gone again. And during my time, I could have only run the community with about 3 or 4 councillors. Yeah, most of them walk away. Yeah, it was difficult, very hard. Then I had a reservist under my hand training, so I had to do training, military training, and then go back as Toshao again, you know. And then people always in problem. During my time, the Toshao was given the responsibility of being the judge, the jury, everything in one. You have to try cases. Only bloodshed, you transfer those to the police. Any other thing like theft, any other thing that doesn't bring blood in it, you have to try it. And all matters being solved here. Yeah, so that was the responsibility of the Toshao. and then you would find people didn't have time to report to you. You know, at that time, it was really hard on me because sometimes when you're in bed, people come rapping your door. They have a complaint to give you. Somebody beating somebody, somebody fighting, and that type of complaint, right? Just simple things, so it was hard. This road was here, but not, yeah, it was trail, a trail. That road was there a long time, but the trail, it was just a sandy trail. Yeah, it couldn't make it with cars. You have to get four-wheel drive. The cars would, they'd stuck up right through. When when I was Toshao, all I had was a tractor and trailer, right? They were I established a passenger trip with a trailer, you know, and we had every other morning a trailer load of people going out. You have to wait for them at Tuesday to come back into the trailer again. So those were only transportation. They had other vehicles, but the village, is developing. I admire how it's developing. Maybe another. I wish I can live another 20 years to see it, but I don't think I would ever make that. Yeah, hopefully I'll come back in spirit. A full sentence in Arabic? Let me have to choose a sentence that cannot put English into it, right? A short thing like I might be a sentence, but just a question, right? Like the usual question, like if they say, you know, what is your name? Hamatubiri, right? Where are you going? Harumbu Sabu, right? And you might answer, oh, do Sabu Dakambia. Simply means, no, I'm going to bathe, or I'm going to have a bath, like that.
Do any of your children know Arawak?
None. None. Especially those in Canada doesn't know one thing about Arawak. Mm. My brother, my sister, they know. The only sister I have, my brothers, the two of them died, one living, he knows Arawak. It is good to grasp some of the words from the older people like myself, and try to see how much you can retain from the Arawak language, right? And probably something that I know, another person might not know, and you make it up. Try to bring it together, you know, to complete it. Oh yeah, before the health station was built, we had a visit by a dispenser from outside, but he used to come through the river, right? And after the health station was built, we didn't have no medics, just the health station was empty. Then during my time, I tried to fight that case with the Minister of Health, and then they started to send in medics, But then the health station wasn't too equipped again. Just a small amount of drugs. Yeah, because anytime anything happens to somebody, you either you either die or you get out of here to outside hospital. A few times then I had connection with the army, being in the army, and let's say a few times, well, the army helped us a lot because they sent a helicopter, they got the patient and straight to Georgetown. So we had that. Yeah, but after I came out, that died. But then when I came out in '85, the station was improving, but not at a fast rate. Because drugs were coming in, important drugs, yeah, like snake bite kit, and like the antivenom kit, and a few other things, but not much.
How often did the dispenser used to come?
every month, once a month. So you had a monthly visit. So if anything happens within that month, you know what? Yeah. And we used to go down the river and bring up the medicine box, some big boxes like this, fetch it from the river to they had a little house before the health station was built. That's what they call it, the priest's house. Yeah, I put it there and there people goes for their medicine. We live off the land, eat wild meat, fish, you plant your edibles as usual. Yeah, especially during the Bonham era, they, when they had limited amount of food, and we didn't had with little before we got a tractor. People had to walk to Long Creek. You know where the health station is? That was a grocery store. People used to go there and buy their stocks. And what you get? Maybe a gallon of rice, right? 2 pounds of sugar, just small amount. That's how Bonham had us. Yeah.
And you used to go hunt?
Huh? Yeah. I had my own personal gun too.
You used to hunt with gun?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not for shooting arrow because all the wildlife would go their way. I won't hit none.
And did you have your own farm?
Farm at the time, yeah. I had a farm, but then I was going in and out. Remember, I had to go to Suriname. You know, I had to work. I had to go out to the village to work. So I couldn't really, get a big farm. I just had something to keep me going.
Thank you to all the donors that made this project possible. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye! Until the next time.